Hey, it's your boy Amateur Podcast. It's been a minute, I know. It's been like maybe 6 months, 5 months. Well, I've been busy with work and all that, but I'm back. I got sent this video, right, and it looked kind of interesting. So I decided, let me react to it and see what's up with it. So it's Vice, and knowing Vice, I'm amused by their videos. Like their stuff is hilarious. Sometimes the hosts or whatever they're like, or interviewers, they're like funny, sarcastic. So we'll see what's up with this. It's called "Inside the Strange Psychic World of Indigo Children." I don't know what an indigo child is, but we gonna see.
Without thinking, just say, I am color X. What color do you think you are?
Sort of a creamy orange.
A creamy orange.
Yes, kind of an off-white, like you might have had your walls in the late 90s.
We are going to do your aura photo. We find more often than not, people will actually get their color right. We have a sense of who we are.
Can't wait, let's...
I'm already judging off tops, but I'm a creamy orange. What does that mean? I don't know. But we'll keep going.
See what happens.
Put your hands on these plates.
Feels a little bit like the electric chair, Eric. Is that
There's
intentional?
little danger here.
Okay.
Here we go.
An aura is a coloured band that some people say they can see around a human body, showing its spiritual state. Few can see them, but I'd found a man called Eric Sage who said he had a camera that could do just that. It seemed like an odd job.
Nigga, stop it. You like this is I'm already seeing the bullshit. You got a camera that can see aura. Next thing you know, you're gonna tell me that you got a time travel machine. How? What are you talking about? How do you have a camera that can see aura? What is this? What is the tech behind that? I need to know because I've never heard of that before, and it sounds like malarkey. But we're gonna continue. I'm judging off tops, but hey.
Job, looking up people's auras every day. A bit awkward to be stepping in on something so private. But I suppose Derek was a professional, like a gynecologist or such.
That's pretty good.
This is Tinder gold, right here.
When I was 4, I had many visions of meeting God and meeting new people.
Indigo children. Astral beings sent to guide us all to...
I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna have to chill. You see me looking at the camera. I'm looking at y'all. I'm like, yo, no way. They really believe what they're saying. Sounds like delusion. Sounds like they're taking mad shrooms. I don't know, but let me continue.
To a higher plane, or hyper children running around with untreated ADD.
How can you tell if your child is gifted or has a disorder? Some parents and even some doctors believe that a number of children today are gifted with psychic powers. They call them indigo children.
The term has been around since the 1970s, coined by psychologist and medium Nancy Ann Tapp, who claimed she'd noticed a sharp uptick in the number of babies born with indigo-coloured auras. But it was in the 90s that the phenomenon took off in the mainstream, thanks to the book The Indigo Children, The New Kids Have Arrived, by husband and wife team Lee Carroll and Jan Tober.
Say you're an indigo, and somebody comes up to you and asks you a question about their life, and you could tell them what it was and how it happened.
They entered all of our homes.
Cap. I smell cap.
Oprah featured them, documentaries exposed them, and all across America, thousands of parents refused to swallow their kids' ADHD medicine, rejecting medical diagnoses in favor of declaring their kids as indigo.
I think.
All right, so I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna pause right here. What about the ADHD thing? Well, I can understand why they don't want their kids swallowing those pills or taking those type of pills because, from what I know, I'm not an expert on this. From what I know, some of these school systems, they'll if a let's say a child is maybe it's not conforming to what they need the child to conform to, they automatically or usually go to, oh, this kid must have ADHD or ADD. And I don't think that's really the case. I think that's a cop out, and I think they just don't want to deal with the kid. But to say, hey, nah, my kid doesn't have ADD or ADHD, they're an indigo child, that's also BS. I'm sorry. Maybe the kid is just different. But indigo, Like, I'm not buying it so far, but we'll see.
It's a stab at trying to apply a more positive label to these children rather than the more pejorative terms like ADHD.
Many of the kids who were raised in its shadows are now adults. Do they still see it as their glorious destiny, or as something much less benign?
So where my motherfucking Indigos at in the building? Let me hear real quick.
I've come to America to see how brightly the Indigo movement's aura is still shining. My journey began in New York, where I was in Sheepshead Bay to meet a full-blown adult Indigo.
It's been hard to put a definition on what exactly Indigo is. The Indigos are a leaderless group, but Edward, the man I'm about to meet, is at least the leader of the New York City Indigo meetup group. So perhaps he'll have some ideas.
I've never heard of this in New York before. I mean, I'm not in New York. I'm in Jersey, but I've never heard of an Indigo thing in New York. So this is news to me, but we'll see.
Edward claimed to be on an intense spiritual journey, which was in part why his apartment contained no furniture. He first diagnosed himself Indigo over a decade earlier, after an online test.
Hello, Edward. I'm Gavin. I've come over from England to search about Indigo children. I gather you're the boss of the NYC meetup group for Indigos.
Yes, I'm the founder.
So what are the key Indigo traits?
Highly psychic or intuitive. Many of them will capable of healing other people, whether emotionally or energetically or physically. Non-conformity to anything from school to parents to jobs. That is why many of them out of place. They just plain simple different. There is no label to it. It's not ADD or ADHD. It's just a different vibrational, energetical type of a...
Hold on. First of all, you said, oh, they can't conform to school, work, to the environment, to society. Maybe it does sound like ADD. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but it sounds like ADD. But also, you said you don't want to put a label on it, but saying they're an Indigo, isn't that a label? I don't know. It's not making sense to me because you're putting a label on it, but you say there's no label. Okay.
A person. The whole notion of Indigos, the whole idea is pretty much to change the way of the world in every aspect.
And what are you here to do differently?
My spiritual journey to help people to bring the change individually as well as on a group level through spiritual awakening, conscious awakening, and change all the patterns you acquired one lifetime after another.
Could you perhaps read my past lives?
I will need to shut my eyes for a moment to give you an answer for that, all of that.
Edward didn't seem to be getting any information about my past life. Was that the psychic's protective boredom threshold kicking in? Even I...
Yo, he doesn't even believe it. Look at his face. He didn't even believe it.
Information about my past life. Was that the
Look
psychic...
at that. He's like, man, cut this nonsense out, man.
Protective boredom
Look
threshold.
at that. That man don't even believe it. Come on, son. This is malarkey, bro. I'm telling you.
Threshold kicking in? Even I wasn't sure.
I wonder how awkward he feels. Like, it's just silent, and he's like, okay, like, what's going on?
So it's very interesting. First of all, I am not getting any information about your past
Yeah, of course you're not, because it's all BS.
life, but still some information came through that I was told to relate to you.
Okay.
And that information actually, first of all, you are an Indigo yourself. You are an Indigo.
I am an Indigo.
Yourself, first of all. Second of all, it is so.
Hey, yo. Come on, son. I guess I'm an Indigo now, too, huh? Everybody's an Indigo. You just passing that shit around. Y'all just passing that shit around. Everybody's an Indigo, huh? First of all, how you know you're Indigo? Second of all, how are you, or who are you or what are your credentials to be passing out? Oh, this person's indigo, you're an indigo, just like that. And third, what's the criteria for someone to be an indigo? For you to just close your eyes and say, "Oh shit, you're an indigo." Come on, bruh. Like, what is this? I'm not believing this one bit, and I'm like 5 minutes into the video. Like, I'm not believing it at all. And look at his face. Look at his face.
Find your core. Second of all,
He's like, I'm an indigo, nigga. Please, come on.
it is so. Find your core. Find what moves you and makes your soul and your heart sing, and do that. You will be able to bring a lot of changes and beauty to this world in your own way.
Okay, well, and on that I-bomb bombshell, this is Gavin Haynes, Indigo, signing off with Edward Tarashansky, Indigo.
Oh my god, bro. I'm sorry. No way, bro.
Very nice meeting you, brother.
Edward's message to find what moves me was inspiring, but as what moved me was cockfighting and the films of Michael Bay, perhaps I was going to struggle to bring much joy into the wider...
Yo, what they saying in the UK? He's taking the piss. Like, he's just joking around when he was lazy. Like, I mean, my interest in cockfighting, but I guess.
world. The upside to being diagnosed indigo was that I was now part of a kind of extended family. I wanted to go meet more of my brothers and sisters, so I went to see the Brands.
He's funny.
Idelle, who was a holistic dentist, and her daughter, Diandra, who was an indigo healer.
Hello.
Holistic dentistry, it turns out, was just like regular dentistry, but with tuning forks sending out psychic vibrations, spiritually charged crystals for patients to hold during their root canal, and funky esoteric necklaces. So, not much like...
Seems like witchcraft to me. When I think of all this crystal stuff, astrology, I think of witchcraft. I think of witches and warlocks. I think of just things that are not godly. And I'm not the most religious person. I'm really not. But this type of stuff, it seems like just mumbo jumbo.
Regular dentistry then.
What does holistic dentistry entail?
Holistic dentistry entails working with materials for the patient's highest good. You want to use dental materials that are biocompatible. Therefore, you don't want to use anything that's toxic, like silver mercury fillings are very bad. We also avoid fluoride, because fluoride also is a neurotoxin.
Deandra, you are an indigo?
Yes. At 16, I became a full-blown intuitive. I started seeing angels around people. I started seeing colors. That's the...
This a goddamn anime. I'm sensing angels around you. Like, what's going on? You sensing angels around people? You like, imagine that, right? Imagine you just chilling. You just going about your business, because it's New York, right? So put yourself in New York. You just walking down the street chilling. Someone just stops you. This girl just stops you. Oh my God. Hey, sir or ma'am. Oh my gosh, there's an angel behind you. The angel wants to talk to you. What you gonna say? Man, bitch, if you don't get the fuck out of my way, that's what you gonna say. I mean, or just you gonna think. But like, come on now, you're not gonna take this person seriously. Like, what are you talking about? Angels? What?
etheric field, the chakras on people. And then I started talking to other forms, so angels, archangels, ascended masters, god, goddesses, etc. So for me, it wasn't about separating myself or thinking that it was weird or different. It was just about knowing that there's something more and what can I do with this gift.
We've written this book, Enlightened Indigo Child, so that parents and children together can learn what they need to do to have a very healthy child. All these kids are being institutionalized and labeled with some horrible mental or emotional disease, which they don't really have.
I mean, with the example of Deandra, was she ever labeled as...
Well, she was labeled as having some sort of disability, a learning disability. Here's a child who's absolutely brilliant in more ways than one, and we have a teacher who thinks she's got a problem.
Okay.
I know my child better than any teacher. I know she doesn't have a problem. If anyone has a problem, it's the teacher and the school system.
That logic right there is throwing me off. Cause okay, yeah, you may know you'll know your child and all that. Okay, But at the same time, that's it. Oh, it's so weird. Now my student's not the problem. It's you. Imagine that. Okay, think about that, right? Think about when you were in school, middle school, high school. You had some classmates that were just Riley, just doing too much, right? So let's say let's say there's a student that's just doing too much, always cracking jokes, doing the most, right? Just and even picking on other students. Then the teacher says your child is doing this, and then the parent would say, "I know my child more than you do, or better than you do. The child's not the problem. You're the problem." That just at that point it absolves any accountability from the child. What if she does have an issue? What if she did have an issue in school? But then you just said, no, I can't, no way, no, it's no way, no how. Like, I'm not messing with that logic right there. I'm really not messing with that logic.
The Brands offered to show me one of the services that made their dentistry holistic, specially made tuning forks to detox the body and balance its energies.
A flat.
The reason why we got into this was because I had my own challenges. I had Lyme disease for 8 years. And when I had it, I was quite handicapped. Conventional medicine said that I would never be well and I should just close up my practice and go on permanent disability. And that was gone when I took the weekend course in the tuning forks. It changed me. It changed my whole life.
Sitting in the dentist chair.
I don't want to sound like a cynic, but possible it could be a placebo. I don't know. But maybe it's true, because she said once she took the courses, it went away. So it's possible it's true. I don't know.
Having tuning forks waved around me felt very luxurious. It was a bit like when I was a kid and they had calming pictures of Donald Duck on the ceiling at the dentist.
Ooh, that feels good. I'm feeling from here. I feel good. I'm feeling tingles and all that.
It's over. How are you?
I'm just kind of tripping balls.
I'm not gonna lie. If I was there, she did that. Oh man, the tingles that I have throughout my body, I'll just fall asleep right there, man. I'll be in. Oh man, I'll be in euphoria. It'll just be amazing. I like that.
I bet.
Idelle seemed to place a lot of weight on her daughter's specialness, and the dynamic between them was certainly intense. A St. Elmo's fire of the auric field. Flemington, New Jersey. When we heard that there was going to be a psychic fair at the local elk lodge, my own psychic sense told me that maybe we could find an indigo or two here.
Yo, why do you gotta play this music, bro? That's funny.
Well, the stones have all different properties. For example, we have like our rose quartz.
Yeah.
When you're looking for love.
Can we get a couple of them? How much are they? They're $3 a pop. Bargain. Are you indigo? Do you know any indigos?
Yes, I'm an indigo.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay. How does it feel?
It was interesting now as an adult. I could say I was out of body and I was more comfortable out in nature or in solitude than I was comfortable at school or with other kids.
So what are you doing here at the fair?
Sounds like an introvert to me, but okay.
I'm a shamana, which means a female healer. So I'm doing etheric surgery and armor removal, which means I scan a person's auric field to see what structures are there that are blocking the flow of spiritual energy.
Okay. Well, it sounds like very important work, and thank you very much for sharing it with me.
Thank you so very much.
Not only
I don't know if he was
this a
being
one-stop
genuine or not.
clinic for etheric surgery, the psychic fair was also full of the usual clairvoyants, gemstone salesmen, and auric artists.
Love the artwork. Is there something representational here?
Chromotherapy, color healing, working with colors.
What about indigo? Is that a color which you would incorporate within your palette?
Yeah, indigo is a very powerful color.
Are you aware of the concept of indigo children?
I have an indigo child.
Do you?
I do.
Everybody
And,
got an
what is it
indigo
like to be an indigo
child.
mother, and is that a special thing?
Well, you kind of buckle up and sit
Yeah.
back and relax as best as you can because they're always on the go. They're very knowledgeable. They're very insightful to the point where it can be a little bit spooky sometimes how they know things.
Was this child asked to be put on medication at any point?
I pretty much refused medication.
Okay.
We used sugared iced tea.
What's that?
Iced tea
Okay, sugar nice.
that has sugar because it reverses, it calms them down. Like if she had a test, she would get really, really nervous. So in the morning, I would be sure,
Because normally sugar would hype kids up.
and it has the reverse effect on my daughter.
Well, that is one to ponder. Thank you very much for your time.
Good to meet you.
Turns out I've been treating myself as an indigo for many years with sugared iced tea and didn't even know it. Indigos seem to be plugged into our...
Yeah, he's taking the piss. He's kind of cracking jokes at it. I mean, it is pretty funny. The sugared iced tea thing, I don't know. I don't know about that, but hey, it works, right? I guess it works on her daughter.
a higher spiritual switchboard. I began to wonder what would happen if I dialed out to modern psychology. It was time to seek out professional help.
Thanks so much for sitting down with us. Why don't you just start by telling us a little bit about your practice?
I'm a clinical psychologist, and I work with children, teens, and adults. I specialize in ADHD.
What are the key symptoms of ADHD?
Many people know the basic ones of lack of focus and inattention, difficulty getting started on tasks, so that's procrastination. And once you get started on something, it's very hard to maintain effort, so you kind of lose effort and focus. Difficulty actually regulating your emotions.
That sounds like a lot of people I know.
It's not so much the symptoms as to the severity.
I mean, what does treatment involve for ADHD nowadays?
Basically, nowadays, Ritalin, Adderall, Concerta, Vyvanse, stimulants are the main treatment.
So you very much believe that ADHD and ADD are real things, real entities in the world. These are diagnosable conditions.
Absolutely.
You mentioned earlier a case of a woman who came to you with a child who potentially had ADHD, but she had diagnosed as indigo and taken away from you again. What happens if ADHD goes unchecked?
Years of undiagnosed ADHD lead to school failure. And if he's super hyperactive, maybe he can't make friends and keep friends. And year after year of failure compounded leads to real or pervasive and deep shame about oneself, which is the recipe for depression and anxiety and drug use and then possibly jail. Recognizing a child with ADHD can draw well or horseback ride or do something unique, and supporting those gifts is great. But saying that you, without doing anything, are unique and special and different than every other child is not helpful.
So here's my thing, right? Science, and I don't know if you want to consider the indigo thing like under or put in the category of spirituality, but which one will you believe? Or can it just be balanced and you can have good points from one and good points from the other? Because me, personally, I don't really refute science unless it's like real stupid, like the race-based ones like eugenics and all that. Okay. But the ADHD, ADD thing, I think that is valid. I think it's valid. Maybe some of those people that they show early in the video do have ADD or ADHD, and he said like he said, it's about the severity of it. I mean, I wonder if those parents, right? I wonder if the parent of that woman from the dentist, the holistic dentist, if she actually took them to I don't know if he's a psychologist or what, because if you didn't, then are your points valid then? Are you the one that should be saying, no, this person's an indigo? interesting. That's interesting to me.
You think they're making mini monsters, children who can only be isolated?
Yes, right. Narcissists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a bad thing.
Yes.
Interesting.
The older I've gotten, the more I've realized that my drawing usually is really much
Wait,
better.
hold on. Yeah, maybe that's upper New York, whatever.
The older I've gotten, the more I've realized that
Upstate.
my drawing usually is really much better than I think it is when I just don't judge it at all. When I kind of just draw. And there's no judgment, and it's just freestyle. Oh, this is actually the chakra test that I took online. My Indigo third eye was 89%, and it was...
My Indigo third eye. My Indigo third eye. Let me take that test and see what it is, what mine is. You know what I mean? I might be 100%. You know what I'm saying? On some Professor Xavier type shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take this test. See what's up.
The most active.
Yeah. Serafina was diagnosed as indigo at a young age by her mother when she started recognizing her extraordinary gifts. Were you already interested in the idea of indigo children? Was it something that appealed to you?
Very much so. Yeah, very much so. I think from the time I was in my 20s, I began delving into spirituality and the meaning of life, vibrations, past lives.
When did you first realize that your daughter was an indigo child?
Oh, very, very early on. From the moment that she was an infant, the unique ways...
Hold on, I gotta go back. She said, I think he asked a question that was interesting to me.
Meaning of life. Yeah, very much so.
Interested in the idea of indigo children? Was it something that appealed to you?
Very much so. Yeah.
Okay, did you hear that question? The idea of an indigo child, was that something interesting to you?
Yeah, very much.
Interested in the idea of indigo children? Was it something that appealed to you?
Okay, and she said very much so, right? Then she said that she believed her daughter was an indigo child. So isn't there a confirmation bias there or something? Like, you want to believe it. You want to have a child that's an indigo child so bad, right? Now you have this daughter, and maybe she has ADD, ADHD, or maybe she's just a little different. Maybe she's just introverted. Could be that, right? And you said, gotta be an indigo. You know what I'm saying? No type of like test done, nothing like that. Just, that gotta be an indigo child. My daughter's an indigo child. I knew it. Hey, is this what we're doing here?
Very much so. Yeah, very much so. I think from the time I was in my 20s, I began delving into spirituality and the meaning of life, vibrations, past lives.
When did you first realize that your daughter was an indigo child?
Oh, very, very early on. From the moment that she was an infant, the unique way Serafina sees the world, visually, in terms of perspective, it's very different.
Some people feel that indigo children have...
I ain't gonna lie. She got a talent there. Those are good paintings. But if I was an interviewer, I would ask those kind of things like, I'll pressure test her, like, hey, what tests were done for you to confirm that she was an indigo child? You know what I mean? How do you, like, these tests, what are they based off of? Is there, are there, like, is there work done, right, that can be cited for this? Like, because this just sounds crazy to me, and it just sounds so new. The other guy before said, oh, we could change the world. I've never heard of y'all until this video. So I don't know what stuff you're doing to change the world. This sounds like some cult stuff to me. I don't know. This is very weird.
Have been sent here to open up the world to a new age. Do you feel that you've been sent here to open up the world to a new age?
I feel that I've been sent here not only to benefit those who know me in terms of giving advice or having a shoulder for someone to cry on or be able to give them a different perspective on life, but also just for me to figure out what I'm here for. And
see, I can't give you that. I think everyone should be doing that. I mean, giving advice, right? Helping people out. That's just good morals. Honestly. Shoulder to cry on with family and friends. Is that really an Indigo thing, or is that supposed to be for everybody?
figuring out what my journey is.
I find I'm constantly learning from her. So each year is just this new discovery of the more gifts she has.
Tell me about your gifts.
I can read auras of people that I've been living with for a while, like my mom or my brother. I always realize, like, yeah, she has this orange glow about her, and it was something that I always
Okay, so it's orange.
Orange.
I don't know, I don't see him.
And what about your brother?
See, I'm not gonna lie. I can't give you this, bro. I can't give you this. You said I can read auras of people that I've been living with for a while. That's basically similar to me saying I've been living with my family, my brothers, my sisters, my parents for a while. So I know my mom is moody with this, or my sister is happy with this, or she's generally this person's generally a mean person. Like, I mean, I hope that you can read the aura of people that you've been living with. I would be more impressed if you said strangers, people you don't know. But people you've been living with, you mentioned your brother and your mom. Come on, son. I can ask pretty much everybody here, what do you think your mom, like, what do you think your mom's like? And they could give me, oh, my mom's this kind of person, or I could ask, what's the aura? What do you think the aura's like? Oh, her aura, she's mean, or she's this and that. My dad is this and that. Like, I can't give you that, bro. Does that mean everybody's an Indigo?
Brother's aura.
Or is this levels to this Indigo thing? Like, you're level 10, and then this person's like level 1. What is it?
I'd say my brother's aura is like a light blue. He's definitely blue because I find blue to be like strong, and it can kind of be cold or even aggressive.
A cold blue. Was it any wonder her brother was called Azure? Serafina seemed to spend a lot of time comparing herself to her older brother. The more she talked of him, the more I sensed the dynamic between them could be the key to something.
And what was it like growing up with an Indigo sister?
Serafina's a lot more artistic and creative than I am, and she has a very different way of viewing things than I do, and I think that was like obviously a large source of our confrontations. Academically, school has come much easier to me than it has to Serafina. That's not to say with lack of trying on her part, but for me it was like school was always a second thought. It was like whatever I wanted to do, and then sure, I'll get my A's and then move on. Whereas for Serafina, she really had to like sit down and, you know, contain her attention on the one topic at hand.
Do you have any interest in that sort of esoteric realm? Are you into vibrations, crystals, those sorts of things?
No, to be completely honest, that just...
Yo, okay, so I already know what he's gonna say. Just from the body language, right? Like, he smiled, he kind of did the... Like, he's like, man, I don't believe in that bull. That junk is nonsense to me. And he said that she has a problem with school. Maybe school is just what. Sometimes school is not for everyone. It's not for everyone. Is that being Indigo though? And I mean, the psychologist did say that people with ADD or ADHD usually have trouble focusing in school, or they're usually falling behind in school. Sounds like, I'm not gonna diagnose her, you know what I'm saying, but I'm just saying.
Granted,
Wait, no, finish that thought. I want to hear that. It makes you what?
It makes me laugh almost, like it's a joke. The significance of her being some type of like, I don't know, like
okay.
like I understand she's a unique individual, but like
to put a label on that and to,
like as an Indigo child, I'm not really, you know, if there's going to be like a new wave where they lead our world, our civilized, through their creativity. Maybe, I don't know.
But probably not.
Probably not. No.
Okay.
I think they'd have trouble with their shopping list. You know, just getting things done.
Zio was right. As an Indigo, I did have a great deal of trouble with my own shopping list. But then, taking over the world is frankly a completely different skill set.
What did I say about these Vice reporters, man? Sarcasm, just this being mad funny.
But in a world of online auto-diagnosis quizzes, Indigo has long since spread its tentacles outside of the realms of psychic fairs to the hip-hop community. Together with the likes of Pro Era and Flatbush Zombies, the Underachievers are popularizers of an esoteric rap phenomenon.
Hold on, when was this made? This gotta be a while ago, cause Pro Era, Flatbush Zombies, Underachievers, that's like 2013, 2014, maybe 2015? Yo, what? 2016. Yeah, I was like, this gotta be a while ago. That's crazy. So, I think this was the first tape I listened to my Underachievers. It was like Indigoism. I wonder if they subscribe to that. You gotta. Okay. So, Indigo, Underachievers. Yo. I don't know if y'all listen to these guys like Pro Era, Underachievers, and Flatbush Zombies, but I would say Pro Era, they weren't, I won't say them, but Underachievers and Flatbush Zombies, you could tell they were on some drug type shit. And I have a very strong feeling that these guys were taking like LSD, all these type of like drugs that make you hallucinate. Hold on. I don't know if y'all listen to this. Was a banger. This was a banger. You know what? Damn, yo, I might get back into my bag. I might get back into that bag where I was listening to these type of dudes back then and see what they doing, if they still doing music and stuff. That's tough. Well,
Cool.
I went off topic. Let's go back.
Preaching the gospel of Indigo through their music. I went to New York's Webster Hall for their homecoming show.
So where my motherfucking Indigos at in the building? Let me hear real quick. I said, where my motherfucking Indigos at in the building? Let me hear. Hey, a rebel.
So they do subscribe to that.
Who are searching for treasures that get sold? Fishing for gold, I found a key.
So was it for you guys? I don't think I'll be everywhere I'm at right now.
Yeah, for us.
You guys made me prosper so much.
My goal is to unite our generation. I don't think that I'm going to succeed, but in the past 2 years and 3 years of us trying to do it passionately, we've come far.
And I mean, what do you think of the link between ADD and Indigo? Do you think there is a case for the counter argument that, like, some kids diagnosed as Indigo when they should be on medication?
I don't believe in ADHD. Because when I was younger, I was like...
All right. I'm going to be honest. Right here, off tops, I'm not going to refute ADHD. I'm not going to say it's like there's no such thing, or I don't believe in it. I mean, it's a science. There's work that could be cited. Him saying that sounds a little crazy, but let's continue.
Smart, but I was like very bad in class, like mischievous. So they wanted to put me on Ritalin and like Adderall. Thank God for my mom. She was like, no way you doing that shit. I seen that they kept telling kids that they had ADHD, a lot of kids inside of my generation. So I started to do research on it online, thanks.
All right, I have another point too. So with this school thing, right? You can be smart, but not be acing your classes in school, not be the best in school, right? And it could be because they're teaching some nonsense. Because let's be honest, a lot of the stuff they were teaching was kind of useless. And when you're an adult now, when you think about it, some of it was kind of useless. It would have been better. See, that's my problem. It would have been better if schools were teaching things like trade type stuff. Okay, building something, right? Not only that, let's say, I mean, they did have music, but I'm talking about music like all in. But that's where they have that's where you get your performing arts type of schools. But it was fun. I don't know. Do you think? I think it's weird. For if you're good with music, do you have to go to performing arts school, or should the school system be tweaked a little bit where you get a little bit of everything in middle school or whatever, and then you figure out what you want to do, then you just go straight into that. Kind of like how it is with college, where you have a major and all your major courses are based off of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish that was a case in high school, but I guess that's why they have those type of vocational schools, or they have those performing arts schools. I guess that's the point of that. So maybe he could have just went to a performing arts school and they wouldn't have said the same thing. Maybe he would have been ace in all his courses and like music and stuff like that, right? You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just my opinion.
The internet, I came across Indigo. So then I just went on a mission from me telling as many kids like, yo, you're not hyperactive. You're probably indigo. That's where.
And that's dangerous. I'm not going to run around saying that. I mean, you're a kid, so you don't know much better, but no, you're not hyperactive. You're an indigo. That's wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you did your research on the internet, come on.
All started for me.
So told me that.
Diagnosis indigo.
Yeah.
But is everyone you know indigo? Is that like a kind of a blanket statement? I mean, what percentage of your friends are indigo?
So like you are.
Yeah.
Like everyone is.
Everyone.
Stop.
Okay.
It's because of the power of the internet, right? It's linking us up in a way that we've never been able to link up before. The indigo shit became the universal consciousness. That's like my religion and what I believe in. And that's pretty much saying that God is the combination of every single living thing on the planet. But the problem is that we have country lines and we're divided by economic.
See, and now you said it's a religion, then you just mentioned God. Those other guys were not saying nothing about no religion or God. But is this what indigo thing centralized, whereas there's a book on it, like, you know how they have a Bible or Quran? Is there something physical that you can get this from, that you can get all this information from? Because you're saying God, those other guys didn't mention that. Is it religion or not? It sounds like, it's, to me, from what I'm hearing so far, it sounds like a cult. And cults, to me, I can't rock with. And you can also make the point that maybe Christianity is a cult. Other religions can be a cult. Islam, Judaism, maybe. Right? I think that it's possible how you go about it. But you saying what you're saying about God and you're saying it's a religion, that sounds crazy. You're saying everyone's an indigo. If everyone's an indigo, that means it's not special. Because before, y'all were making it seem like it was something special. Then everybody's an indigo. It's not special no more. It's normal. And if I don't know, that's crazy to me. That means the teacher that was saying that you have ADHD is an indigo too, right?
Class and weight class and intelligence and color and race and culture and religion and all these different ways that are dividing us. We lose track of the connection that really keeps us together.
Hearing Issa talk about this global lattice of weirdos and creatives he was hooking up was as powerful a vision of culture as I'd heard in quite some time. Indigo or no, he was a special kid. As the night wore on, indigo and brandy mixed easily. I did also wonder what indigo was doing to their health because I'd never seen so many medical marijuana prescriptions in my life. Around 1 a.m, Issa decided he'd teach me a funky new hip-hop dance called The Elephant. My standing had fallen sharply within the rap community.
The Elephant?
I failed to learn how...
That's not the elephant? Isn't that just a dab? Wait, did they tell him that's the elephant? That looks like just a dab to me. I don't know. They gotta be trolling him.
To Dougie.
No
So
way.
it seemed a chance worth taking.
Yeah, that's not no elephant, bro. They trolling you. That's the dad. They trolling this man. Oh shit.
I
Yeah,
felt
they
really
high
bad
as hell.
spilling us his drink, but then, as an Indigo, I knew he'd forgive me. That's how it works, right?
I'm at the end of my quest. I'm exhausted. My aura is just a pool of muddy brown cosmic sweat dripped around me. I've been promised a series of golden gods, but overall, I can't say I've been overly convinced by the extrasensory powers of the people I've met. Overall, Indigo seems to be a catch-all for a range of New Age experiences. Talking to angels, color therapy, sensitivity to others, these have all been around for hundreds of years. Why is Indigo happening now? Because people need it. Like any religion, Indigos externalize a higher power, which then validates their own sense of internal specialness. That's not always a problem. The more I've interacted with the Indigo tribe, the more I've come to see them as an important rebuttal to the idea that medicating anyone can solve their problems. Some people just are different. They learn differently, they think unconventionally. We're all told we're special.
He's saying some real shit.
It's just when some people are told they are more special than others that the awkwardness starts to creep in.
I mess with this. I like this. What he said at the end was great. People always want something to follow or to subscribe to. It gives them a sense of purpose. You know what I mean? Like I said, Christianity, like I said before, Christianity can be the same thing. This Indigo thing, the same thing. Because like he said, why did it show up now? I was not hearing about this before. I never heard about this. This thing was done in 2016. I just heard about it now at the end of 2021, basically, 2022. But I wonder if they're still like talking about this, or did they move over to a new form of some cult? Because this is just something that's temporary that you just want to believe in to make you feel better about yourself. That's fine if you want to do that, but that doesn't make it valid. Maybe you're just different. People are different. Like he said, people think differently. That was interesting. That was an interesting watch. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you have any critique, you could put it down there. If you agree, you could put it down there. Like, comment, subscribe, and appreciate you watching.